How you doing? How's it going? Back in black with some more enlisted news. I just wanted to apologize first of all. I know it's been like a long time since I actually uploaded, maybe like a week or so, but I swear I actually have a really good reason. So like lightning had fried my modem and my router, and unfortunately I so happen to be bound to Spectrum Internet, and for whatever reason, there's like one store every like 30 miles, and the one store that I went to, they never had any replacement modems for me to even like get back online. So it was just pretty crazy, and I basically had no internet for like a week. But the crazy thing about it is that like the whole time I was out, I was still getting subscribers. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much to anybody who has subbed recently and to anybody who is still subbed. I appreciate you guys for rocking out with me. And yeah, I'm gonna try to get back on it. So let's get into the news. So, the best and everybody's favorite game mode, Invasion, has received some new tweaks to make it even better. It's getting to the point where I ask myself, like, why does Conquest even come up as often as it does? Because, quite frankly, I just don't have as much fun, nor do I get as much experience even playing that game mode. But, what can you do, right? But yeah, to make it Invasion even more tantalizing than it already is, they have gone on to add varying capture point locations to like a multiple maps. This was clearly done in an effort to increase gameplay variety. Because in one of my previous videos, I was talking about the redundancy of playing the same three missions and maps over and over and over again. Like after you run down the same path 100 times, things just get a little like monotonous as far as like the fun factor and stuff like that. But since the capture points in the middle of the map are now randomly generated, you never know exactly where you're going to go throughout the course of a game, which makes it way more varied and way more fun, in my personal opinion. And I'm happy that this increases the variety for offense and defense, since you never know exactly where you're going to push up or fall back to. But one of the best things about this, to me personally, is that it helps the developers utilize more of the map. Because one of the big questions that I alluded to in one of my previous videos is like, why did they go through all the trouble of like visiting these locations and putting these historically accurate locations and like huge maps in the game if they're only going to use like a small portion of them for like every game mode or like every game. That one thing didn't make any sense to me. But since they are adding these varying capture points in random locations, basically you can expand the map, or not even expand it, but basically use more of it. Which is, I mean, like, yeah, you should definitely use the assets that you went through all the trouble of putting in the game. But that's just my personal opinion. This is kind of off topic, but it just popped into my head, right? Like, if you guys are going to make us play Conquest so much, why is there not like a Conquest map for like every portion like of the huge map? So, for example, since you guys are watching Airfield right now, why don't they like make a Conquest map or mode for the airfield map and just have like one capture point in each of the hangars, and then you got to run between the hangars catching each one and like fighting across the airfield? That would actually be a pretty interesting conquest map, as opposed to the swamps, which, if I'm not mistaken, is everybody's least favorite map, or at least a lot of people's least favorite map. Whenever swamps on conquest comes up, it's like the bane of my existence. But that is also just my personal opinion. Getting back on the actual, subject of the matter, the gameplay you guys are watching showcases some of the new capture point locations. As you can see, the new spots they choose actually do make you change up your gameplay style, which is another thing that I really appreciate. Games that make you switch up, what you actually need to do to be successful, to be more precise, or for lack of better words. Uh, a perfect example of this, or I guess the most prevalent example of this, is the apartments capture point on the Berlin map. That makes it so that submachine guns and shotguns are way more viable, obviously, because as close quarters as the Berlin campaign is, why would you want to rush a building with a bolt action rifle? I don't know. And yo, speaking of shotguns, does anybody even use shotguns in this game anymore? Let me know down in the comment section, because I was actually looking for more talking points for another video. So if you touch shotguns, let me know how you feel about them. Aside from these marvelous improvements to the invasion game mode, we also have some general improvements to the AI. There is now a new way to specifically choose which squad mates you want to switch to. To do so, You simply hold whatever button you use to switch to your soldiers, or switch to the next soldier, I should say. But when you hold it down, it will actually now bring up a pie chart, and then you can specifically choose who you want to switch to. So like instead of having to cycle through really quickly while you're like in the middle of a firefight, you can probably just duck around the corner, pull up the pie chart, switch to your engineer real quick, and make some ammo if you need to, or what have you, whatever you need to do at the time. They have also made it to where AI can now generally react faster to new targets that actually cross their view. Close range targets in particular will now actually be considered priority. Their navigation has been improved so that they are less likely to get stuck following you over walls and through buildings, because the best way to move around is jumping through a small window as a full grown size, not grown size, full sized adult. And yeah, I don't know, realism. The part here that is kind of has me weary is the fact that they have also improved their aim. My thing about the aim improvements is that AI can already like quick scope you across the map sometimes. And like another weird thing is, for example, when you like sneak up behind like a huge group of enemies, and you're like, oh, I got this mean ass flank and I got this PPD 40 in my hand. I'm obviously about to get like a 10 kill streak, but no, you go to shoot, and maybe you'll get like one, two, maybe three. But that fourth or third one, that AI will turn around and flick snap shot you. It's so crazy. It throws me off sometimes, to be honest with you. Yeah, man. Drop a like if you have ever been quick scoped across the map or flick shotted it when you had like a perfect flank and you was behind like 20, 30 people and you thought you was gonna get a kill streak, and then the AI was like, nope, not today, buddy. Like, shit is crazy. So that's kind of the thing that puts me on the fence about like AIs having improved aim. And I do completely understand that like when you mark a target, yes, they're going to focus in that area, and like they actually can like shoot up an area pretty good if you mark targets. But that brings me to a point where in my head I'm like, if they're already good enough to like shoot you across the map and flick aim you when you're already behind them, and they shouldn't have even known you was there until you shot one of their friends. It's like they shouldn't be able to have improved aiming unless you as a player mark a group of enemies or mark a person to shoot at. Other than that, like, I just feel like they were already in a pretty good spot as far as like shooting people who walk in front of them. And like I said, if you flank them, they're gonna know that too. As soon as you shoot one of them, as soon as you, I feel like as soon as you hit the fire button, R2 or click the mouse, whatever, they like are just programmed to know exactly where you are if you're like in a 30-meter, 15-meter radius. And like, yeah, I don't know. But I've only played one day so far after this update. I can't say for sure whether their aiming is has gotten like better or worse, but I'm gonna be on the lookout for that one because they already be flick shotting people, so there's no reason for them to be as good as they are per se sometimes. But if you mark a target, which benefits you, it benefits your team, and it benefits the AI, then yeah, I can completely understand them being super accurate because you ordered them to fire in that general direction. Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comment, or if you feel like the aim has gotten like better, or how you feel about the AI aiming in general. I do know there's like a fine line between people thinking AI are either really, really useless or they're doing like some outrageous shit. It's never like a smooth middle ground where like, okay, these AI are performing very reasonably or realistically, which I mean they're not real people, so I guess you shouldn't expect them to perform like people, but But other than that, we just got some other navigation fixes like, oh, if there's some barbed wire on the ground, AI can move around that more efficiently. But then again, it's not like that many people use barbed wire anyways. So, what can you do? Aside from that, the only other thing we have are some general gameplay fixes. I will go through a couple that stand out to me, and then I will flash the rest on the screen. You will no longer be able to set up mobile rally points in attics if it causes soldiers to spawn within solid objects. And this is a good one because not only could you spawn in like inside the wall or like and not be able to move, and you would have to suicide your whole squad to get out. And this didn't even happen in just the attic, like in the bunker on a Labray, or what's that conquest map? I don't even know what it's called. But yeah, like they would put a spawn beacon in the bunker, then I would spawn in the bunker and I wouldn't be able to move. So I'm glad they have addressed that. The only other thing I saw is that they made the tank turret reticle smaller for when you're in the commander view on a tank, and they fixed a small bug where you actually was not able to throw grenades at all, or if you threw a grenade, it would double up and give you another grenade, which sounds kind of broken. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this little update. You guys should definitely get out there and try to. Well, it's not like you can choose the invasion mode, but get out there and try to get in that invasion mode. Try those varying capture points out. Let me know how you like it. Let me know how you feel down in the comment section. I actually like it so far. I like where, like I said, I like the direction this game is heading. Hopefully they just keep adding more positive changes to the game. And yeah, other than that, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, go ahead, hit that, shoot that subscribe button, aim for that like button as well. If you do, make sure you get better teammates. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. As you can see, I'm a little rusty, but black guy out. I got 181 kills for no reason, bro.
How did you go to pass?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't got
that's
no
sick.
fucking. I got 4 mil bill in the bank. What kind of buyer?